What's up, everybody? Welcome to the JOEKING Podcast, where we let the truth be bold. Our new slogan. Yeah, I really like that slogan. I like that subtitle. It's really fucking cool. It's been, I feel like God brought it to me at a perfect time. I think it was, what's the word called? Divine. That I talked about it. I don't remember which podcast, but like which episode it was, but I talked about whenever I read Let the Truth Be Told on like Facebook or some shit. I read it as Let the Truth Be Bold. And it was just like, oh, fuck yeah, that'll be the subtitle for JOEKING Podcast. I think that God gave it to me, and I want to do some shirts. It'll be tight. So, for those of you who don't know, there are a few different kinds of episodes within the JOEKING Podcast. One of them is Gym Talk. Gym Talk is where we go in and talk about the fucking gym, or the freaking gym. Sorry, editor. My
is that a thing now?
my fucking my cameraman's like, bro, I don't want you to get fucking or freaking. Yeah, it's okay. So look, dude.
So we can't say no derogatory.
Yeah, we just have to clean it up a little bit, so we don't get flagged. Sorry, audience.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Yeah, so we need to like clean it up a little bit. I'm not gonna clean it up too much, man, because that I don't. Man, fuck no, dude. I don't believe in cleaning shit up. Like, to an extent,
is it the slurs?
You know what I'm saying?
The slurs. Okay.
Me calling things gay.
Yeah,
and,
or like
and saying
say it with the F instead of.
Yeah, things like that.
We're such 90s kids. Like that flows free from us. We're not these people who are so like you can't say like.
Can't say all these fucking things.
Dude,
yeah.
We're 90s babies. Like I'm
an 80s baby, actually.
Oh,
born
sorry.
in 89 with my old ass.
I forgot you rocked this cradle.
Stop. Okay, so Gym Talk is where we go in and talk about the gym. We talk about all things related to the gym. We talk about nutrition, our fitness journeys, other people's fitness journeys. We talk about our experience with owning a gym, machines that we're obsessed with now, all the things gym related. We also have Joe versus the internet, which is the most controversial because I am a very bold person and I respond to comments that people leave on my Instagram. We find videos on the internet that we want to discuss and bring up and show you guys, tell you what we think about it. And we talk some shit. We need to talk some shit. Okay, the last one is Q&A. This is probably, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I enjoy this a lot because I never know what I'm going to get. And this is where my wife brings me questions that she thinks would be interesting for me to answer here on the podcast for the audience to hear. And today we are doing a Q&A. All right. But before we jump into that, let me ask my beautiful coho, my lovely wife, how she is doing today. How are you doing today?
Good.
You're the worst. Your hands still hurt from building the pool?
Yes. Oh my God. The pavers. Like there's this whole thing. We're still on the freaking above ground pool setup.
It's been a nightmare.
TikToks.
It could be worse.
It could be. But my hands, man, I told Joe that like there was a few times where I'd go inside because it was so hot and the rays of the sun were so harsh on my skin. And my hands were hurting from digging holes for pavers, which I did 8 and it was a total flop. They weren't leveled. Anyway, I just went in a few times crying and I was like, man, I wonder if people who do yard work or like men who do that kind of stuff, I wonder if they ever have those moments where they just want to cry because it sucks so much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, shit,
like
I know that I have moments where I fucking break down and cry, man, because like as lame as that sounds and as like weak as that sounds, man, what we have to do and the level where I'm trying to get to and what I want to achieve and just all the things that go into running the business and having a huge level of uncertainty and how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that in running our own business and being entrepreneurs, not only for one business, but for a few businesses. It can be incredibly overwhelming. Social media can be incredibly overwhelming. I think that some people talk about social media being really, really overwhelming, and they're just like a regular fucking influencer, and that's all they do. I have to manage the social media for my personal page, the gym page, the True Warrior Tattoo page, the G brand, now the podcast page. That on top of everything else that we have to do, signing people up at the gym, you know, doing tattoos, creating G brand stuff, because all the G brand stuff that you guys see, all the designs, I do them all myself.
Yeah.
I don't have this artist person that I go to pay to come up with the stuff. All these things are straight out of my heart. Fortunately, I've been tattooing for 16 years and I am an artist. I'm very artistic, so I can do this, but it still takes a big portion of my mind. It takes up a lot of space in my mind, back and forth to the print shop and doing paid ads and fucking all this crazy shit that I got to do to keep up with. It can be incredibly overwhelming. And yeah, man, I'd be lying if I said it didn't bring me to tears some days. There's been times where I'm talking to Ashleigh at the front counter at the gym, and dude, my eyes just fill up with water. And she's like, what's wrong? And I started talking to her. She's like, I would never know. She would never know, you know, just, I don't know. I guess I just mask it or whatever, just keep trucking, you know? So
You're a cold-blooded, I can't say the word, but it rhymes with Tilla.
and it starts with the K.
You're a bad mofo.
We're making, Ashley's low-key making fun of you, bro.
Oh no, I'm talking about us. Like
No, she's making fun of
I
you
would never,
with your censorship
Alex.
bullshit.
No.
So,
It's all like not Alex's fault, but we put it on
I know,
him.
it's fucking YouTube and like all these other, yeah.
Other than
Anyways.
that, I did hit a new low weigh-in
Oh, okay, tight.
of 155.3, which last
Again,
time,
that's another new
Yeah.
one? Damn,
so I'm
okay.
excited. My start was 182.
Okay, nice. So that's 17, 18 pounds now?
Yeah. No, that's 27 pounds.
Oh, shit. My
Yeah.
my math is
Yeah.
fudged up.
At least I used my calculator, and that's what it said.
Yeah.
I could have put the
Well, either
numbers
way,
wrong.
that's,
182.
yeah, how are you feeling? You feel good at that weight?
Good. Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, and what are you trying to get down to again? I know I asked you like
Something
100 times.
crazy.
I always forget.
Like 140 or something.
Okay,
Why not?
nice.
Yeah.
That's tight.
It was a whole thing to get up to that weight for me. You know, I didn't like it. Like the whole,
Man,
and
yeah.
then
She
working out
actually
like
started
that.
bulking with me whenever I went on like crazy ass bulk.
Yeah. And then, well, I went back to the 150. And then when I started training with Leroy, that's whenever I went back up.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It was slow. Like, I mean, I gained like 25 pounds like in a year. It's not like it was like this quick
Dramatic, crazy
eating.
thing.
Yeah, I was eating a lot of food though.
It's
But
taking
yeah.
you a long time to cut down, man. I know that it was real hard for you for a little while. So I'm glad that you're able to do that now. I'm glad that you're feeling good. You look great. You look phenomenal. Sometimes I'll get home and I'll walk in the house and I'll instantly notice, like I'll see the progress, you know? Now, sometimes like you haven't seen somebody for a little while and you just see them and every now and then you're like, hey man, you're slimming out. Like you just randomly notice it from time to time. That's what happens with you and it's super cool. So good job, baby. Yeah, fuck yeah.
What about
Gains.
you? Yes.
I just started my cut like 2 days ago. Super lame. I went on a diet break maybe like 2 months ago. I got down to like 249 all the way from like 280. My ultimate high weight was like 306. Got down to 280, maintained that. Dropped down 265, maintained that. Then got down to 249, maintained that. Went on a diet break. Now I'm 265. And now I'm trying to cut again. I'll probably get down to 240. Which, if your goal is 140, mine should be 240 because I need to be 100 pounds heavier than you. That's
I need
a
to
rule.
be at least 100
That's our fucking
pounds
rule.
less than you
Yeah.
all the time.
It makes you feel more like a man, and it makes you feel more like a woman. But okay, enough of the small talk. What do you have for me on today's Q&A?
Okay, so I guess we can start off with like the business route that I have a question for.
Okay.
Especially considering that when we met, you were already open with your businesses for like a decade, a little over a decade, right? So you've seen employees come and go, stuff like that. But like for the 5 years that I've been a part of it, I've seen quite a lot of people come and go.
Yeah.
And I just have a question, like, do you think it's something about your hiring process? Do you look back at it like, man, maybe I should have picked up on that? Or do you just have this big belief in people? Or like, what are you doing different from now on? Because there's qualifications, like, are you qualified? You know, like,
God.
does this person, like, let's look at their experience. Have they worked in a tattoo shop?
Dude.
Like, what are you going off of now?
It's everything that you just said. It's all of the above. Just fucking train. God, bro. We're right next to the railroad tracks. So if you can hear the train, I am sorry. Okay. So, it's hard, dude. Like, first of all, I am nowhere near this super experienced person who like knows all this business stuff. I know how to fucking grind. I know how to keep showing up, and I know how to learn. This is one reason why the business has been able to scale. I do not know the correct process on how to hire somebody, the questions to ask. I don't know. I just try to do my best to fill people out. And I think one of the biggest issues that I have is trusting people. Just believing people when they say they're down as fuck, because they're not.
Sometimes they just want to look cool, or they think that it's so cool here.
I guess.
And then
I
they
don't
see
even
that
know.
there's work and that,
Yeah.
and then they're
people,
just not down after all.
I think
don't
that
know.
people think because of the environment of the gym with the loud, cool music and the lights and the fucking, or whatever, in the tattoo shop. We're in a tattoo shop, so it's just like all professionalism goes out the window. We don't actually have to show up on time and work. It's like, no, you do. We definitely need to show up on time. We definitely need to be expected to work, like, and whenever people are here, I push them to be the best that they can be, so it's definitely a learning curve. I think that the people who have left, it's definitely not all their fault. This is one thing that I've learned by listening to Real as Fuck with Andy Frisella, is that I'm probably not nowhere near as good of a leader as I think that I am. I just do the best that I can, man. And as I'm going, here's what I'm going to do moving forward to answer your question. I'm going to keep on learning. This is what I'm going to do. So the set of questions that you sent me to talk to Lexi about hiring her for the piercer, I went through those with her, and I thought it was great. So thank you for that.
I learned that from Wells Fargo.
Okay,
I would have to sit in, here. Okay. I've learned a lot. At Wells Fargo was a 3-person interview process. So like, for instance, here, technically it would be that you'd have to get your through your first interview through Chris,
right? Your
GM, not to waste your time.
Right.
And then if Chris is like, this is why, blah, 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 then they have the second interview with you.
Right. Yeah. So far we've had an interview, and then, I just reached out to her again yesterday because I was tossing it back and forth in my head about what I wanted to do. And I realized that the reason why I wasn't contacting her back or reaching back out to her was because I didn't want to waste my time. And I was just like over it. And I realized this is not a good way to go about, or this is not a good reason to not hire somebody, because you're over it and you're over people. That's dumb. Mm-hmm. So I decided to reach out to her. I gave her a call yesterday. She said she was still very interested in everything. So I just told her, dude, look, man, I don't fucking know, to answer your question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
how you
I don't know.
It.
I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep learning. And I'm going to keep trying to pour into people as much as I can. As much of a waste of time as it feels like from time to time, one day it's going to pay off. It's paid off with Chris, for sure. Like, there's going to be the people who stick around for the long haul. There's going to be the people who stick around and lock arms with us. There has to be. There has to be. The thing is that people don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's just a paycheck for them. It's just a way to make a little bit of extra money. But what I'm trying to create here in this culture that we have in this building, I'm trying to create something that's not just a job for people. Mm-hmm. I want to create something that gives people purpose, something that they look forward to, something that they can lock arms with me and conquer the fucking world from this building. This is what I'm trying to create. But this is extremely difficult.
This is a whole different environment.
Yes, it's hard. It is fucking hard. I get inspired a lot by First Form and Andy Frisella, what he has there, and like the employees that you can just tell, man, that's a good fucking company, bro. But it's a good company.
That has to be a part of his hiring process, because they're calling your previous jobs. Mm-hmm. How is so-and-so working? How were they?
Right.
You know, they're checking to make sure that those dates matched up. Why did they leave? What happened? Make sure it lined up with the interview. They're on it. They do background checks. In the tattoo industry, it's different. Like, we've had people you've hired where they've had questionable circumstances, and we believe God can change things in their life. But they proved it didn't.
It's also
every time.
Yeah. Also, like, dude, that's one thing. I believe in people.
Yeah.
I believe in people.
do.
I believe in people. I try to help people and get them off the ground. But
I have a big heart.
yeah, man, I can't say that that's a problem with me. In the business, it can create problems. Dude, to answer your question, man, it's just all I know is that I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to keep on keeping on, man. And I think that one day, if I continue to allow myself to grow and allow myself to learn and allow myself to learn from my mistakes and be able to say, hey, man, I fucked up. I'm not going to do that again. Yeah. I think the growth is inevitable, and eventually we'll have a solid ass team to where people can stick around for a while. You know, people can stick around and really, really help us elevate the business, and not only elevate the business, but to elevate ourselves as people as a whole. Like, this is why. So one thing a lot of people don't know, that if you work here, whether you're a tattooer, whether you're a trainer, whether you're a counter person, whatever, it doesn't matter. You are required to work out 4 days a week, at least 4 days a week. People don't know that, but I require this. Why? Because I do not only want people to just show up to the job to just be passive and sit on your ass all day if there's nothing going on. Yeah, I want people to be able to get in here, to better themselves, to feel better about themselves, to sharpen their discipline. This is required. This is part of the job description, believe it or not. So this sounds crazy, but this is also why people don't stick around for very long, because they don't want to be disciplined. They don't want to be better. They don't want to grow mentally, spiritually, physically. They don't want to do that. They just want a little bit of extra fucking spending money so they can go out on the weekend. You know, I believe that this is one reason, besides my lack of good leadership, this is one reason why people don't stick around. And then I think that there's a level of shittiness to my leadership as well. Okay? This has to be true. It's not my opinion. This is the truth. And I'm learning and I'm growing. Another thing that we require our employees to do is that every day, every time they're on shift, they are required to do a power list. And I also got this from Andy Frisella, and the power list is part of the 75 Hard program. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's part of the 75 Hard program originally. I think. I could be wrong. But it's also something that you can implement in your life. This is 5 tasks that you give yourself every single day that is non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. Okay, these things need to be done every single day. Our employees have to have a power list done every single day that they are on the clock. And it's a list of 5 things that adds to the presentation and to the quality of the presentation of the business. This is required. Okay, so I know that we do things different here, but it's because I'm not just trying to have a fucking mom and pop bullshit gym or tattoo shop for the rest of my life. I'm really trying to accumulate people and mold and shape people who can get the vision in their heart that I have, lock arms, and fuck shit up. Yeah. So that we can grow all together. And I tell our employees several times, almost every single staff development meeting that's another thing that we do, tattoo shop and gym, that we do that other people don't fucking do. We have staff development meetings where we go in, I try to sharpen our people, I tell them what they're good at, and I tell them what they're bad at. You know, I try my best to encourage them and let them know where we need to go. And we all need to go there together. And one thing that I tell them is, this is not the Joe show. This is not just about me getting more money or me moving into a bigger house. This is not just about me and Ash. This is not the Joe show. This is why I tell them all the time. Because I tell them, I want you to elevate as well. I care about you. I care about your wallet. I care about your quality of life, you know? And this is one thing that sets me apart from other businesses around here, you know? So, and gotta keep going.
It's hard.
It's extremely difficult.
I see it. What do you think about this?
Because to get to the level that we want to get at, or we want to get to, we can't do this on our own. We have to have good employees. We have to have a good general manager, which Chris is a great general manager. But Chris is only going to be as great as I lead him to be.
That's true.
If I don't get better, he won't get better. I have to be 10 steps ahead of him all the time. And I am, but I have to keep taking those steps.
Yeah.
And I can only teach him what I know. I can't teach him what I don't know. Okay, and what we want to achieve is Andy Frisella can't do first form by himself. He can't. It's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
He can't do Real as Fuck by himself. He can't do any of his other companies by himself. It's impossible. And this is what we have to do. This is the process. We have to be able to accumulate these people so that we can grow and get at the level that we want, because there's no way I can do it on my own. This is why I hired Alex. I can't do it on my own, you know? Like, I have to be able to step out of the fucking social media shit so I can work on other things, you know? You have to delegate people to do these things, because we can't do this on our own. We can't. It's that simple. So this is why we can't just stop. This is why I called Lexi back yesterday, because I realized I can't just stop trying to hire people because I'm fucking super over it. We had 3 people quit over the last month. You know, and it's been frustrating. We've had a trainer quit in the past who fucked us over pretty bad. For the time being, we've recovered already, you know, from it. We've had people walk out on us, all the things, everything. And it gets to the point to where, and me and Ashleigh have these conversations all the time, it gets to the point to where it's extremely disheartening. Extremely.
Well,
it's like there's no
put
hope.
in a lot of work. So, for instance, Lexi, if she's worked at a tat shop, that's great. That means she already knows the ropes. If she hasn't, that means you have to work 3 times as hard for her to build her up to that position, which is like, that's a big factor.
Right.
Do you want to do that? Not only that, but I see it as a relationship. Let's say you get your boyfriend, right? And he sucks. You're blocking your blessings. So if you fill that position, you're blocking.
Then the position's already filled.
The position's filled and you're already in that spot, which that kind of sucks. If you think about it, you get the correlation I'm trying to tell you.
You can't get a husband if you're with a shitty boyfriend.
Yeah, so if you hire somebody who's not qualified or it's not a good fit and you're just having to go through those motions when you could have just waited, use your discernment and get somebody who is a great match. But you just don't know. You're
100% correct. There has to be some sort of like standard, right?
Yes.
And, you know, fuck.
Or you can call the tat shop. Like, for instance, Lexi. Hey, how was Lexi? Why did she leave the tat shop? How long was she working at the tat shop?
This is what she told me. It's true. Blah, 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 so on and so forth.
But it's hard.
Yeah, it's fucking tough, man. Because even then, even if I did all that shit and everything checked out, these people, dude, this is what businesses deal with.
Yeah.
Fucking the biggest industries or the biggest businesses you can think of, they deal with these fucking people all the time. People who just don't fucking care. They just bounce. So let's say, not even just Lexi, other people, like let's say I hired somebody at the tattoo shop or in the gym. We show them the ropes. We fucking do this, we do that. We help them out. We fucking get them clients, so on and so forth. We market them, all these things, right? All the things, all of it. So much time, energy, and resources into this person. And then they dip. They fucking dip, right? So it's like, fuck, man.
I think it goes back to you having a big heart. Because I've told Joe...
A big what?
There's a big... I can't say the word. Nah, just kidding.
Damn.
I think you have such a big heart because there's been times where I'm like, okay, I'll tell you, like, baby, like, this, that, and the other. And you're like, I got it. I got this. My job is that they're going to get better. They're going to do this. They're probably here because of God.
Yeah,
to do that.
I believe in them,
but
man.
Like, I can look at somebody and I'm like, okay, their age. What jobs did they come from? From working at the bank.
Yeah.
I've seen people come and go.
It's like lot. You try to see it from a logical standpoint.
And then I work with them for one day, and even their personality, I'm like, this person, either they're a little, you hear them talk and you're like,
something's not quite right.
You hear them talk and they have like a bad attitude and you're
Yeah.
like, how did they not pick this up in the interview room? Then you as a banker or like a teller, like the position I was in, I'm like, that hurts the team.
Yeah, it does.
And it's like, how did they not see this in an interview when this person had 3 interviews? And it's hard not to be looking at the boss. Like,
I mean, dude, the person's going to put their best foot forward.
That's true.
They're going to put it forward, man. And they're going to fucking clean up. They're going to dress up. They're going to say all these things about themselves. They're going to put their best foot forward. Mm-hmm. And then you hire them, and then they fuck up, and then you fire them. And then you move on. It's just how it goes, right?
It sucks when you grow attachments for them.
Yeah. This is where Ashleigh struggles more whenever... Because she'll tell me things about people, I'm frustrated and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm fixing to fire him. And then I fire him, and she's like, you feel so bad. She's like, well, what if this and what if that? You know, like, what if we can? And then it's like, no, for me, when I'm done, I'm fucking done.
Well, I get it whenever the decision's just, like you say, stripped from you. Like, there's no choice.
Yeah, they made the choice for me. So,
we can want it as much as we want for them.
Yeah, but they have to want it for themselves, man. And I do feel... like, I understand now why there's so many businesses that are super strict with things. Like, now I have a strike system, you know? Like, dude, first time's warning, second time's suspension, third time you're fired. That's it. That's just it. You're done after that. I've even thought about doing it just twice. Just warning, and then you're fired. Because, we got to take this shit seriously, man. And the thing is, people don't take it seriously because they don't care. Yeah. It's not their gym. It's not their tattoo shop. It's just a fucking way to make a little bit of extra money. But I'm trying to get away from that. But it is extremely difficult to try to get people to care about something that they didn't build. And there's no way that they can care as much as I do or as much as Ashleigh does. It's impossible. But they need to be able to care enough to take out the fucking trash and show up on time. Normal shit. Normal. This is all we ask for. There's a few things that I ask for that are above and beyond. Communication, like just normal shit, normal everyday things that people just cannot handle. People don't understand discipline. People don't understand honor. People don't understand integrity. People don't understand being people of their word. They don't understand these things. They think they do, but they don't. And then so they say that they do, but then they let their circumstance dictate how much of these things they allow themselves to have, like the honor and the integrity, right? Like, it just goes out the window. And then they say, well, it's your fault. What the fuck you mean it's my fault? It's my fault that you didn't show up on time? It's not. It's just not, dude. It doesn't make sense to me, you know? It's like, yeah, well, it's because this and this and this. It's like, okay, so this means all your integrity and honor goes out of the window. This means that your job description doesn't matter anymore. Because for whatever stupid ass reason you come up with, you know, I don't know, man. People just find any reason to flake or fucking whatever, you know? Even
you saying all that, like, I don't think you give yourself enough credit, because there's been times where I'm like, I feel like I'll weigh in and I'll be like, man, that person shouldn't have done that. And you're like, well, they have to learn, and I have to give grace also. Mm-hmm. There's that part of you that people don't see.
They have to learn. But see, dude,
but I feel like,
you know what the fucking worst thing is about that shit? Is that these people, when it's time to let them go or fire them or sit them down and say, hey man, you fucked up, they forget about all the times I stuck my neck out, about all that shit goes out of the window, and I just become an asshole. It's what I mean. I'm not an asshole for holding you accountable to what you said you were going to do. You agreed to this. You said that this job description was great. You said you were excited. You said you could. And now that you're not doing these things, I'm holding you accountable. Now you're mad at me. Even though I gave you the fucking opportunity. I write your check. I pay you out every fucking week. I've even let fucking employees borrow money. Yeah. Because they're in a bind. Dude, and these are things that people don't see. People just talk shit on the internet. People just fucking, and even the people here that have worked here, all of it goes out the window whenever I correct them. Yeah. I just become this asshole. It's like, dude, did you forget when I loaned you $500 fucking dollars?
There's times
Did you forget that I signed 20 fucking clients for you? Did you forget all these things? But you know, I don't think that, I think that you're a little bit wrong whenever you say that I don't give myself enough credit. Like,
I guess during this conversation, it's not just, you know what I mean? I have to say that. Like, you also have, like, during this podcast, everything you've said so far, I have to say that. You have, it's true. Like, everyone hearing this, you have to, there's that part of you where I'm like, dude, that's not okay. Like, this person's taking advantage of you. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, I have to give them grace. So I'm just saying, everything you said, I have to also put that on the table.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Well, I
true.
appreciate that. And also too, like, people have to understand that whenever I hire somebody, there's a level of dedication that I commit to this person as well. It's not just them committing to me. It's me committing to them as well, and agreeing to take them under my wing, kind of, and like show them the ropes and let them fuck up, and me say, hey, this is not how we do it. This is why. Boom, 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 boom. Right. You know, it's just part of growth. Like, we're not going to find anybody who just comes in and doesn't fuck up and knows everything to do all the time.
Correct.
As great as Chris is, like, he wasn't even like that. Like, I had to have a lot of conversations with Chris, and imagine if I would have fired him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't have Chris right now.
Yeah.
So it's like a whole fucking thing. And you're coming from a very logical standpoint, like, fucking interview them a couple of times, like,
when you pick up on during the interview, man, I'm telling you, there's things I've seen at the banking where I'm like, did this person just say that?
yeah,
Did they just say, like, or have an attitude?
yeah,
Or like whenever the boss is asking a question, it's like getting offended during the interview, like things like that. It's like, man, that's like a no-go. That already shows their colors,
yeah,
But I don't know. It's just kind of, it is a difficult thing, But
Yeah.
I guess it does require you, with everybody, you have to put your energy towards them.
Yeah.
It's just like, how much are you willing to do? Like, if we had somebody like a new tattooer, they've worked at a tat shop for 10 years, like we recently had, they could still not be,
yeah.
Dude,
Dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how
like,
good of a tattooer they are, or if
it could be
whatever.
that, because my mind tells me, like, okay, we get a new tattooer, and it's like they've never even worked at a tat shop. It's like, bro, we're gonna have to put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right. And then also on the flip side, you find somebody who's been here for 10 years. He didn't even last 3 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's
Somebody's been
like-
tattooing for he didn't even last 2 weeks. Somebody's been tattooing for over 10 years, longer than me.
Yeah.
And
then you think
but
that's
the
like-
reason why these people fucking crumble is because I hold them to a standard.
Yeah.
This is why, one reason, I can't say this is all the reason. This is the reason why they crumble, man. Like, they're used to doing whatever the fuck they want, when they want, how they want. They're not used to somebody sitting them down and saying, hey, I don't know where the fuck these people's parents were at.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where the fuck, like, look, dude, I didn't have the best parents either. So I get that. But it's like, there's like, I don't know if these people just aren't used to taking direction, taking instruction, taking correction. If there's people in my life where there's very few people in my life, but there's people in my life where if they sit me down and say, hey, Joe, this is not okay. You need to stop this. Or, hey, Joe, you need to fix this. Hey, Joe, whatever. I'll say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
That's him
And
loving you.
it won't happen again. It won't, I'm not going to get, even if I do get offended, I'm not going to let it ruin what I have in them. I'm not going to let it ruin it, because what I have in these people is very special. And I don't forget where I was when they picked me up. I don't forget how much they've poured into me. I don't forget it. And these are my pastors. Shout out to Gary and Maribel Alanis at Church 633. They have poured so much time and energy, not only into me, but to the entire congregation of the church. And if they sit me down, in which they have, and say, hey, whatever they're going to tell me, even though sometimes I walk away hurt, I walk away sad, probably most of the time I walk away sad. There's been times where I get offended. I'm offended at them, and I have to check myself. It's like, dude, don't be so fucking good and so full of your own shit that you get offended and then you dip out of the church, or you go your separate ways with them as a, like, the relationship that we have. You can't just do that because you don't like what they said.
Yeah.
And people don't understand this. People don't understand loyalty and dedication. Like, being loyal to somebody only because they let you do whatever you want, that's not loyalty. Like, honoring people only because they don't ever tell you anything, or like, it's just, it's anybody can do that. Staying loyal and faithful to people, and staying honorable to people who correct you and offend you and piss you off and do things or say things or correct you in ways that you don't agree with, but you're able to have integrity and honor and stay faithful to them. and lock the fuck in and continue to be humble enough to take their advice and correction and apply it to your life, and take their wisdom and apply it to your life, this is extremely wise. This is wise to do. But this is not what people do. People say, you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me nothing. Ain't nobody gonna tell me whatever. It's prideful, it's arrogant, and it's foolishness. So this is one reason why I feel like our employees don't last. You know, because they fuck up and I tell them, you fucked up. This is why. And I tell them how to correct it. I show them. And then they'll try, and then they just give up. It just becomes too hard.
Job description.
Yes, it is part of my job to lead and guide these people. It's part of my role to do this. This is my role in the business. Kiesler has his role. I have my role. You have your role. Alejandro has his role. Fucking Raul has his role. They all have their roles within the business. Sam, they have his role, okay? And if we're all rolling in the same direction and we lock arms and we have the same vision, this is how we get to where we're going even faster, right? But it's when people don't understand their role where they start fucking up. Mm-hmm. If they understand that my role is to make sure the business is growing, make sure the things getting marketed, make sure to do outpaid ads, make sure to figure out ways to scale the business, show you where you're fucking up. Understand that I am your boss. Understand that you have to fall in line. You have to follow instructions. And when you don't, I tell you this. Now, if you do not understand that this is my role, you're going to get offended at it. You know, these are people who don't understand. So it's just what it is, you know?
It's crazy to me how your kids understand, because I remember Aaliyah was like, and she's 7, Joe's daughter. And she was like, Mama, it's just Chris? And I said, yes, because she had noticed he's the only one who came in the shop. I was like, yeah, the other people quit. And she was like, why did they quit? Why didn't they just try harder, Mama?
My 7-year-old daughter. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
And Silas on the way home, like it was like when we were leaving, right? Mm-hmm. And we try to leave before the tat shop is opening up when we can. Mm-hmm. Lately, summer, it's been a little bit more lenient. Sorry, what are you talking about? About us leaving before the tat shop opens. We try to leave before the tat shop opens.
Oh, you're talking about you and the kids.
So this day we were leaving, like the tat shop open, so they noticed. Yeah. But even on the way home, Silas was like, man, I feel like it's such a great environment to be here because it's not about just working. You learn about Jesus. Mm-hmm. And I said, I know. He was like, man, you could have this whole world to learn about, and you don't.
And you don't.
He was like, man, Mama, that's crazy. And I said, I know, because it is much more special.
Yes,
than
because
just power tasks, than just freaking.
People see it in a surface level way, like they see powerless as just like, oh fuck, I gotta do this powerless. They don't see it as the power list.
Yes.
You know, they don't let it empower them. They don't let it help. They don't understand that this is sharpening them. Yeah. This is creating discipline. They don't understand what it's doing. They think about it as like, fuck, I have to work. Yeah. You know, it's like, dude, man, I wish people could just not see things just at surface level. Even our kids see how much we pour and how special this place is at such a young age. You know, like they see it. They see the opportunity. They see how awesome it is. They see how great their parents are and what we do and how much hard work we put in and all these things, so on and so forth. And even our child knows, why did you quit? Why'd you throw in the towel? You should have just tried harder, you know? And now you're gone. And now you don't get to be a part of it.
Yeah, she was like, they should know they could just try harder. It's funny that you say that, because I was talking to Raul the other day about the power task. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you also have to think about it. It's not just, he was like, man, it's helping me with outside of my life too, at home. And I said, also,
that's music to my ears.
If you think about it, it also builds your heart for the gym and the tattoo shop, because you're caring. I said, we also want people who care. We want people who have a heart and attachment for the facility. We want you to look around and be like, man, I can make this better. That you having that accomplished, doing it, it's going to make you feel better on the inside. It's going to help you. It's going to bring joy. If you're like this person.
It brings confidence.
It brings confidence, and
too.
it builds your attachment. Like, man, I want this. I want to have a better environment for my members, my clients, and I want you. You build that attachment.
Yeah.
Your heart is in it, and it's in it. Like, I don't know if it's just because we're so passionate people that we think like that, but that's how I feel. Like,
Yeah.
you have that attachment. It's more than just checking a box.
Yeah, and these are things that we understand.
Yeah.
Because we are like this at church, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to see me walk by a piece of trash at my church on the floor and not pick it up and throw it away. You're not going to see me sit around at my church if everybody's moving tables and chairs and me just sit there and watch people. That's not going to happen.
Untied, you'll run up there and tie it.
My pastor's shoe, this happens on 2 occasions. My pastor's shoe was untied on stage and somebody brought it to my attention.
I did. I said, baby, pastor's shoe, and you didn't even think twice. You ran up there.
Mm-hmm. And I went in front of the entire congregation and I tied my pastor's shoe. Why? Because of honor. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Why? Because we care if he trips and falls. We care about the presentation. I got down on my knees and I fucking tied his shoe.
During his preaching.
I'm not too good for that. This is because I care about what they're doing. I care about the presentation. I care about these people. I have truly locked arms with this ministry and what they're doing. This is a beautiful way to be. This is important. You cannot live your life. You cannot live a fulfilled life, a true fulfilled life, if you do not have a heart like this. This is the kind of heart that Jesus loves. This is why Jesus washed the disciples' feet. This is why he did that. But people don't understand this level of honor. People don't understand this level of discipline and integrity. They don't. It's so far from them. This is why Jesus talks about renewing the way you think, change the way you think, because if you don't, you're not going to win, bro.
Yeah.
You're not. You can't inherit the kingdom of heaven if you do not repent. And repenting is changing the way you think, okay? You can't do it. It's impossible. And because we know to be this way, and we know how to be this way, this is what we're trying to shape other people to be, because this is how you have a super strong, structured fucking, like, I didn't get paid to tie his shoe. I didn't get paid to be on the worship team. I don't get paid to pick up the trash. I don't get paid to move the chairs or move the tables. I didn't get paid the other day whenever on 4th of July when they asked us to go help. I didn't get paid for that shit. But it's not about getting paid. It's about honor. It's about caring about something bigger than you. This is what it's about, and this is what I want to create here in my businesses, and we are very far from having it. But we will have it one day, you know?
And great people are going to come to us,
Yeah.
sharp
Mm-hmm.
people who are dedicated.
They
who
have
are
to.
honorable. They will.
They have to, because our pastor says it all the time. He's like, what you make happen for God's house, God will make happen for your house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so because I know that we both help grease the wheels at church, because I know that we help like that and go at the church, you know, I know that eventually God will bring us people who can really do the same for us, you know, but it's hard.
Some
That doesn't
people
mean
are
it's
just
easy.
Quick. I remember whenever
Yeah.
I started at church on a Sunday, by that Friday, pastor said this, that, and I listened. By that Friday, I was already tithing.
Yeah.
5 days later,
Mm-hmm.
5 days later, started on a Sunday. I already started tithing on Friday, and
Yep.
I remember
the first year you were fasting with this
that
too.
was it. I was already in it. You didn't have to tell me
Crushing it,
twice.
bro.
I was like, oh dang, okay, I'm gonna start I'm gonna start tithing. 5 days later, and Pastor Melville told me, she was like, you're swift. She told me that. Remember?
Fuck yeah.
She was like, you listen,
So
and you're a
good.
swift learner, and you're a swift doer. You
Yeah.
move when God says to move. You move.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even there for a month.
Yeah.
It was whenever we were getting anointings for the fast.
Yeah. Okay.
And I started going there in December.
Yeah.
And by that
January,
3 weeks
we're
in,
doing
she
the
was like,
Daniel
you're
fast.
swift. She was like, when God says to move, you move.
Yeah.
And I was
That's
like,
a beautiful
man,
way to be.
It's a beautiful way to be, and there's other people like that.
Yes.
So
there
I'm excited.
Are. Yeah, man. I just do my best to try not to ruin what we have and to continue to make it better. It is a blessing from God, and we're extremely thankful for it. And I'm going to do my best to crush it. That's all we can do, right? Just learn, build together, lock arms with each other, and try to fucking conquer the world. And the way you conquer the world is one person at a time. One person, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. And then before you know it, you have a culture that people are thirsty for and they want to be a part of it. That's what it is.
Actual impact.
Actual impact. Not just fucking complain about shit and don't put in any work to be part of the change or to be the change that you want to see. Like, bro, everything, all the that people comment on my shit all the time. Wow, bro, you fucking cry a lot. You whine a lot. You fucking, dude, look, man, it'd be whining and crying if I didn't do shit and back it up. Everything that I talk about, everything, I back this shit up and I put in work to create the culture that is better, to create the culture that pushes those shitty things away. I'm not just sitting here complaining and talking shit on the internet. You know, I'm doing something about it. I put my money where my mouth is, you know? Anyways, guys, this is all that we have time for today. Thank you guys for tuning in to the JOEKING Podcast. Make your way over to the JOEKING Podcast on Instagram. Follow us, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also visit theGbrand.net so you can get some kick-ass merch, dog. If you're a G like me, you'll really fuck with it. And as always, keep it fucking G.